in my process of researching new homes and what designs and floor plans and all that I wanted, I had chosen this floor plan. It was one of my 10 best likes, and I'd interviewed another builder at one time and looking for a lot and so on to build on. But the first builder I interviewed, I felt like that he would do things his way, not my way. And I was adamant if I was going to build my last house, it was going to be my way or no way. So we just really felt blessed that we happened up on this building lot in this area because it was an area we wanted to live in anyway. And it just so happened that this house was under construction. It was started, maybe halfway finished. And the sign in the yard was Gamble Construction. We were a little familiar with that name, but we'd never done business with him before because he had built our son's first house, so we knew the name. But we called him immediately because I could tell this was where I'd like to live. And that was our first experience with Leland Gamble and Gamble Construction. And he sat down with us at our kitchen table and just laid out everything about the house, everything he'd already started, what his plans were with it. But he told me that he would work with me completely to design this house, the interior and the outside, for me. After living here for a year or so, we decided there were some things that we wished we had done when we built that we hadn't. So we decided to call Leland in and see if he could help us accomplish the things we wanted to do. And one thing was a patio area and a pavilion, picnic pavilion, outdoors. And he and I worked together on what we envisioned it looking like. It was kind of a tight space, and it had to work in just perfectly to enhance the outside of the house rather than the inside. So he did that, I think, the second year that we lived here, and did a beautiful job with it. We just have many compliments on how he incorporated on such a small area to enhance our outdoor living area. And then this past year, we decided we needed our outdoor porch covered and have more living area out there. So we called Leland, and again, we didn't use an architect. Leland and I just put our heads together, and I came up with pictures, and he came up with pictures, and we put our heads together and designed an outdoor living area on the back of the house with a covered porch, and it has just been a beautiful enhancement to the house. And we wouldn't have ever considered anyone else building it other than Leland, because we knew we could trust him to get what we wanted and to get it done and complement the house and it not look like an add-on.
Well, I didn't know Leland personally at the time that we found out about this house, but my son had already bought a house a few years back that Leland had built. Just in checking with him, just to see, to make sure that, you know, everything. He said, you won't be disappointed with Leland Gamble. He's come over here and fixed things he didn't have to fix.
Which reminds me of a time that 3 years after us moving in, we had a water leak, small water leak in the ceiling. And of course, first thing I do is call Leland because I would want him to repair it first of all, not thinking he was responsible for it, just something that happens because the warranty's only for 1 year. But I called Leland. He immediately got over here the next morning. He researched to try to find out where that water was coming from. And it so happened it was a water line, a main water line that was leaking. And he repaired it, completely repaired it, repaired the ceiling where the leak had happened at his own expense. He would not take a dime from us. He said that was my fault. It should not have happened. And I said, well, but it's not under warranty. It's not your problem. He said, it will always be my problem. Leland has told me numerous times during these processes of building that we've gone through that I'm a perfectionist, but I really believe he's the perfectionist. I have very seldom had to call anything to his attention first. He will call me because he's afraid it won't suit me. Everything they've ever done, and he says, but Miss Curuthers, I know you're a perfectionist. And I am, but I think he's more so than I am.